Hello, welcome and namaste everybody. Ji Sunil Bhaiya, namaste.
Namaste, Parishit Bhaiya. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste. Welcome everybody. Welcome everyone. This is our family reunion of SIP Module 1 of Universal Human Values. We have our resource person and co-explorer, Sunil Bhaiya with us. Ji Sunil Bhaiya, namaste. Over to you.
Yeah. Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste, everyone. Good evening. So this is the family reunion or the follow-up meeting of the eSIP program, which was conducted in November 2020 by the NCCIP directly. We have been meeting every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. to discuss the content with regard to Universal Human Values, which is offered in the SIP, Students Induction Program. This is also webcasted in the YouTube, so several participants are watching there also. And students who could not join during this time, during 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., they may watch later. The recordings are available immediately after the session. Yeah, so with this small background, we go to the content session. We have been discussing with regard to relationships in the previous few meetings. A relationship is there, and we just need to recognize it. As we discussed in the first few sessions, what is needed to fulfill the basic human aspiration is right understanding, relationship, and physical facilities. So in that, we discuss in detail regarding relationship from session 6 onwards in this SIP program. And this particular discussion is that of respect, which comes in session 7. So we have discussed almost up to the complementarity part in the last meeting, last Wednesday. And now we have to just conclude it and go into the next session, possibly. But we will see through the recap of what we have discussed last day. And then, if time permits, we will go into the next topic. So what you see on screen is the minimum content of respect. We have explored that the respect is right evaluation, and the purpose, program, and potential are same for every human being. The purpose is to live with continuous happiness and prosperity. That is my want. And I can see that the other also wants the same thing, to live with continuous happiness and prosperity. My program is also same, to understand, live in harmony at all the 4 levels. That is my right understanding. And I can see that the program of the other is also to understand and live in harmony at all the 4 levels: individual, family, society, and nature. So I can easily see that my purpose is the same as the purpose of any other human being. And so also my program is same as the program of any other human being. Then I can recognize that there is potential in me, that is, I have this potential of imagination, desire, thoughts, and expectations, and that is continuous in me. And I'm endowed with this natural acceptance. I can also observe that this power of imagination is there with every other human being, and that is continuous. The other is also endowed with natural acceptance. So with this, I recognize that the potential is same for every human being. So with this recognition that the purpose, program, and potential is same for every human being, I see that the other is similar to me. and that is the minimum content of respect. That is what we discussed in the workshop, as well as we have discussed this in the previous Wednesday's meeting also. And then we discussed about these differences. There are similarities at the level of the self in terms of purpose, program, and potential. That is what we recognized just now. But there are also differences between one human being and another. Not at the level of self, but at the level of body or other things, like what we see here. On the basis of body, there are differences like age, gender, race, strength, etc. On the basis of the physical facilities, wealth, post, etc., we differentiate. On the basis of beliefs like ism, sects, information, etc., there is differentiation. This is what is happening currently in the society. So we have placed several examples last day to illustrate what are these differences which are happening in the society right now. And then we discussed about what is given below, that is, in living, are we trying to accept the other is being similar to me, or trying to show that we are different from each other? This has been responded by many of the co-explorers, that we are trying to accept that the other is similar to me. But maybe with our previous sanskars, many times we can see that we have been trying in the past, possibly, to show that we are different from the other, we are special from the other. This may be there with several individuals, which we can notice, including ourselves, maybe. But we are not trying to come out of this sanskar of being special. Especially, I can see this in my case. I've been considering myself as special in several cases, but now I can see that I am trying to come out of this behavior of treating myself as special. And now I can recognize that the other is similar to me in the level of purpose, program, and potential. So this is the recognition which we have noted in the last day's meeting. Now, further, we continued our discussion to the complementarity part, or the complete content of respect. So respect is right evaluation on the basis of self. That is, purpose, program, and potential are same for every human being, and the other is similar to me. But we are different at the level of competence. Competence on the basis of right evaluation of our mutual competence. I recognize our complementarity and try to fulfill that. So complementarity, as we know, this is the ability part. I wish to be happy, but I may not be able to be happy all the time. So the ability to be happy all the time, or ability to be happy at most of the times, is my competence part. So when I want to make the other happy, many times I may not be able to make the other happy. This is my lack in competence. So when we evaluate, we first of all evaluate ourselves on the basis of this purpose, program, and potential, and see that this is same with every human being. And then on the basis of a right evaluation of our mutual competence, when I interact with the other, I also try to evaluate the other, and this is the right evaluation of our mutual competence. I can see that sometimes I am better in competence than the other, and some other times I can see that the other person is better in competence than me. And accordingly, I can have a program. If the other has more understanding, is more responsible than me, I am committed to understand from the other. and improve my competence accordingly. But if I have more understanding, if I recognize that I have more understanding than the other, I am more responsible than the other, then I live with responsibility with the other unconditionally, unperturbed by the behavior of the other, and I am committed to facilitate understanding in the other, but only after the other is assured in the relationship and not before that. This is the point where we stopped in the previous Wednesday's meeting. And so we propose this complementarity like this in the previous Wednesday's meeting as the complete content of respect. The other is similar to me and we are complementary to each other. So this complementarity has been discussed in detail in these two proposals. Sorry. Yeah. That is, when the other has more understanding, I am committed to understand from the other. And if I have more understanding, then I am responsible. I live with responsibility with other unconditionally, unperturbed by the behavior of the other, and I am committed to facilitate understanding in the other. So these two things are there within me. So this is what we refer to as this complementarity, because the competence level is different from person to person. Then we can see this also. This is just an illustration of this competence part. So in my evaluation with the other, I can see that the competence level of myself is this much. Let's say, just for an example, illustration purpose. And this is my lack in competence, this much. When my imagination is guided by preconditioning and or sensation, I would say, which cannot be verified, which I did not verify with my natural acceptance, then that is adding to my lack in competence. If I go by this preconditioning or sensation alone without verifying them with my natural acceptance. But when I verify these sources of imagination with my natural acceptance, then they are no longer preconditioning or sensation, but they become part of my natural acceptance. That is adding to my competence. So that part of my imagination which is verified by my natural acceptance, that is what we refer to as this competence. So I can see in my own evaluation that I have, say, this much level of competence, this much competence, and I have also verified that I have some lack in competence, say this much, as it is given in the figure. And when I evaluate the other in mutual evaluation or right evaluation on the basis of mutual competence, I may recognize that the other has sometimes less competence than me or sometimes more competence than me. In either case, it is my responsibility to help improving the competence of the other or seek help from the other to improve my competence. So in both cases, I'm committed to do this. This is what we propose. So likewise, we evaluate the other and we see this complementarity with the other. The other is similar to me and we are complementary to each other. So with the feeling of complementarity, the other feelings naturally follow, which we are going to discuss in the next session. So with this content which we have been discussing, if there is any sharing by any of the co-explorers, you are welcome. Any experience to share, you are welcome. What is given in this chart is competence of various people. That may be quite different. So first of all, we trust on intention and we evaluate the mutual competence. And we see that this respect is right evaluation of the mutual competence, right evaluation in the self. of this mutual competence with other human being. So if there is any sharing from any of you, you are welcome. I can see Amresh Patil ji, Dr. Vaishali ji, Uma Maheshwara Singh ji. There may be many students who are watching this in the YouTube channel also.
Good evening, Sinul bhai.
Yeah, good evening, Amresh ji. Namaste.
Nice to look into the initiation that you have done with the evaluating of the others. But normally what we do is we don't try to look the other with the intention part. We only try to gauge on what is happening outside. So there is the issue every time, and the interaction becomes what do you say, in an opposition mode, or it is there we are ready to argue and prove that I am right. That's normally happens in all the interaction that we do. But with but with this awareness, I think that's really come down. But still, it is there, prevails.
Yeah, that is true. This is our previous sanskar, or this is a sanskar which we have been following till now.
Yes, yes, yes.
So trust on intention is not that easy to see. Very true. Yeah. Nice observation. Let us explore ourselves.
Yes.
And see that, first of all, the purpose, program, and potential are same for every human being, and we can trust on intention of every human being.
Yeah.
So, as you said, it is saying is very easy, but when it is into practice. This will take some time for even for us also to verify and others to come into this level of verification. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very true. So, as Amresh pointed out, many times we evaluate the other human being on the basis of their competence, thinking that that is intention. The ability part is being thought as the intention, and we mistrust the other human being. This is what is prevailing as part of our previous sanskar or our current state. So this is where we have to work upon. I have to work upon myself upon this, see the intention of the other person, and the mutual evaluation of mutual competence also has to be done. And see that that is when there is an unpleasant behavior, there is an undesirable behavior from the other human being. I can now note that or notice that this is because of the lacking competence of the other person. Even though the other person wants to make me happy, but he's not able to because of his lack of intention. Nice point, Emergy. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhai. Thank you.
Namaste, Sunil Bhaiya. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Sunil Bhaiya, by seeing this graph, I was just thinking, I am in which level? How can we?
How do you feel? Which level are you
in? Might be long to go to improve the competence still. Because we still, even though we are in this journey, we feel that it has been almost 2 years, but still to improve the competence level, I think it's taking long. It takes time. Some situation, because when the situation, what I have been observing is each situation, like the behavior is, sometimes I could see I am calm. I could feel that the competence level is okay, but sometimes I could see like I'm getting affect, like no, we sometimes that intention part is not means the other person's intention, we take we don't see their intention.
Competence as intention, right?
Yeah,
Evaluation.
yeah. Many times it happens. After that, after the situation is over, then only I'm thinking it. I'm not able to see the intention part in the initially. Once after interacting, then after some time, I think, oh, the intention might be same, like pure, but I'm thinking of the. I think that I'm not thinking that the competence is low. That's why they're behaving like that. I feel intentionally they're doing like that. That thought process comes initially, but after some time, after 5-10 minutes, then the thought process goes, and then I understand it was not the intention, it was the competence.
Nice. So there was a discussion, a nice point. I'm just complementing this with an example. There was a discussion yesterday in one of the UHV meetings only. There was a comment by one of the co-explorers that this program has to be made compulsory for all the students, irrespective of whether they belong to UGC, AICTE, or BTech, BSc, or any program. That was the comment made by one of the co-explorers. But then we observed that this is something which is not to be made compulsory, but it has to be like voluntary. Anyway, this is part of the curriculum in some of the institutions and some of the universities in the second year and first year, as the AICTE proposed. But another comment was that the students, even though they underwent this program in the first year or second year, they didn't seem to follow. Many of them didn't seem to follow, or many of them didn't seem to verify the proposals. So what is the purpose of just teaching this? This was another question. Many of them cannot see this. When some issues arise with students, like in the final year or the pre-final year, those students who underwent this program of SIP as well as UHV2 in the first and second years respectively, when they themselves are part of some issues in the third year or fourth year, then the teachers just come back and blame those teachers who have conducted this UHV2 program or UHV1 program. That what is the purpose of doing this? What is the point in doing this?
Sunil Bhaiya, I feel even I went to the class of first year, which the UHV was conducted 2 months back. But we need, as teachers, we need to reinforce these things. And when any issues comes, we need to tell the proposals, repeat the proposals, and slowly only it will go into their mind.
Yes, that is the point which I am coming to. Very nice. Yeah. That is the point which I am coming to, in fact, that it took long time. In fact, as you said, 2 years or 2.5 years, sometimes 4 years or even 8 years. It took a very long time to verify the proposals by ourselves. Those who are in the program, rather those who are in this UHV proposals, are exposed to the UHV proposals and have been attending this weekly meetings, many other meetings very regularly. Even every day we attend morning meetings, etc. The teachers, I would say. Still, there are several things which are not very clear to us, and we continue to explore and explore and explore to improve our level of competence. So then it is not that easy just after undergoing a UHV1 program and UHV2 program by the students, expecting that they verify the proposals and validating them in their life is very hard to find out. It is seldom to find out. It takes a long time. And there may be this follow-up meetings like this meeting, or the meetings in the university level or the college level will be happening. But even then, when some difficult situation arises, then the behavior of the students become maybe with their what they have been doing in their previous sanskar. It may come back immediately. This happens. It will take some more time. We have to just wait patiently. And when such things happen, when the students behave differently, let's say, then let us evaluate our own feelings. What is happening to our feeling? Do we feel that whatever we taught them is not in place? Do we feel irritated? Do we feel uncomfortable? this we can observe. So let us improve our level of competence, and if required, we can have more programs with the students. We can repropose these things to the students, maybe with different examples, which we could take from their own life. This was what, how the discussion went yesterday in a meeting. So yeah, there are, say, co-explorers who still complain about these things, but there is no point in complaining. We can observe first of all ourselves, what is happening with us. Improve this lack in competence, convert this red portion, as Priyadevi was telling, where am I standing upon in this? Maybe they can have more diagrams. And you can draw your own diagram, maybe possible, if it is not falling in any of this. So you can see, suppose if you are standing over here, this competence and lack in competence are almost like 50-50. This is close to 55% competence and 45% lack in competence. So there is no kind of percentage like that. We can evaluate ourselves. And this evaluation is happening continuously. That is something which we can observe. When I evaluate myself as rightly, then I can see my competence and I will be in this self-confidence level. If I am evaluating myself over evaluation is done, then I will be in this ego state. And when I evaluate less than what my competence, I will be in this depression state. And as we discussed the previous day, this ego and depression, they may fluctuate. But when I rightly evaluate myself, then I can see that I have this self-confidence and I can see that there is lack in competence in myself. So when I explain things to the others, I have to improve myself, improve my level of competence, and help the other also to come to my level of competence. This is what I can do. So I can observe myself. That's what I am telling in short. I can observe myself, my feeling, what is happening with me. How can I improve my level of competence? When the other is behaving, say, not favorable towards me, I can see that there is some lack in competence with myself. Emirates G, unmute again.
Yeah. Just I wanted to add my experience.
Sure.
Here.
Sure.
What is happening in my class with the third semester students? Because what I had done is I had trying to share all the content through for both the sections now with A and B sections for the third semester with UHV1. Right now at the syllabus is also I had got revised with Kumar Bhaiya. He has helped me out in that. So that's all going on. But what I was trying to tell is once CA is been done, I was just going through the evaluation part with and I had found the students are able to hold the content in the way, because the MCQ, it was 40 marks CIE, in that 12 marks was there for MCQ, and 28 marks, there were 2 questions which are mandatory, which is comprising of A, B, C, that is 2 marks, 4 marks and 8 marks question. So in that way, the CI was set, and it is all went through fine with all the branches, because I was trying to coordinate that. And now I think with after that CI, I went with that question paper and discussed all the content. I just reviewed everything, that where I was and how it started and where we are till now. And now, and then they started opening. Till now, they didn't even used to interact at any stage. I used to help them out to come up with their own proposals and their own difficulties. Like they never interacted. But now they started to open up, and then they had written that written test. Now they have opened up, and they were telling that you need to tell something in the mother tongue and all that. So that discussion is happening. I think we need to wait there and hold on with the things happening, because there are 2 semesters there for me. I think definitely students will hold to this content, and they will move in their lives in a better way. Whatever is there with transformation and human society or equitable society, we are going to look it in our lifespan. That's what I am expecting. Bhaiya.
Very true, Bhaiya. So we have to wait, as you said. Very true. Yeah, it is. Anyway, the evaluation part is there, but yeah, maybe in the evaluation part, if you ask some questions in which they with which they can explore themselves, that will help them for sure. Yeah.
Written tests also, I had seen the books. They have some of the students have really answered nice. Because here in this, I have to read each line there. I cannot run away. 70 students I need to go through very meticulously, and one section and another section 46 plus, like that. So that way it's happening. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. So that is, in fact, improving your level of what is it, exploration also, because you are going through each and every line of the answer books of students. It takes a long time also, and it requires a lot of patience too.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, Priya. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice
It is 2 hour tutorial class, like theory and all. I give a break of 10-15 minutes and then start once again. Sitting there only in the class. I never go out. So that,
Very good.
yeah, that like that
Very
is
nice.
happening.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you finish this, I mean, after this third and fourth semester, when you finish this, you can share in the weekly meetings or monthly meeting what is the output of this.
Yeah, definitely. I am keeping track because like what is being done, I don't know because I am not done with the volunteering part right now. But what I am finding, when you had graded me somewhere like 5A and all that, I am in the 5th group, and for A means I think someone who has really understood the things like that. I am trying to grade the evaluation part also, what has been then happening there, and then approach to the students in the right way and help them out like that.
Very good, very nice. So these are experiences of our teachers, trying to help our students, and maybe many students would say verify the proposals, as we have this Damodar Priya with us. So he may also have to say some experience for sure, because we have conducted a program with him recently. So there are some changes which they can see immediately after the program. But of course, we have to continue this, like in weekly meetings or follow-up meetings in the institution itself. We can continue this. Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Priya. Nice. Yeah, so what we have discussed here is regarding this complementarity part, right evaluation. The evaluation of human being lacking competence is given by this red part in this diagram, and competence is given by this green part in this diagram. So this is only representative. All the bar charts are like representatives only. We can evaluate ourselves with right evaluation and see where we stand upon, as Priya was telling. We can draw our own chart separately, and with mutual right evaluation, mutual competence, if we see that the other is lacking in competence, I can help the other. And if on the other hand, I can seek help from the other. This is what we refer here. So the takeaway here is the feeling of complementarity. The other is similar to me, and we are complementary to each other. So with the feeling of complementarity, the other feelings which we are going to discuss sooner, they will naturally follow. We discussed this peer pressure earlier when we discussed about addressing the concerns. So the SIP content of this UHV is starting with just exploring the aspirations and concerns, right? And in the continuing process of this SIP, we discuss about how to address these aspirations and concerns, how to fulfill the basic human aspiration, or rather, to from the aspirations which the students may explore, we can draw their attention to the basic human aspiration, the continuous happiness and prosperity, and to achieve these basic human aspirations, what are required. So this is a starting point in the discussion, and thereafter we discuss about resolving the concerns. There are several concerns with the students. We help them to resolve these concerns by themselves through referring to their natural acceptance. And peer pressure is one of the major concerns. So as it is given here in this particular slide, when we try to get respect from the other, that is, we feel that our bowl is empty and we are begging for these feelings from the others. So in any form, by doing things in their own way, by dressing according to what they dress, or by eating according to what they eat, and so on and so forth, many things. You say following the language, clothes, etc. We have to conform their way of looking things and doing things their way. So this is what we refer to as peer pressure, because we want respect. We want to get respect from others. We seek respect. But this is something which we can now see in light of this unfolding the proposal of respect right now. we can see that when I have a feeling of respect on the basis of understanding of human being, as discussed in this session, I will have the feeling of respect for everyone, including myself. That is the thing. So it is not that respect is for others, but it is for myself also. Self-respect, as we say. When I evaluate myself on the basis of this purpose, program, and potential, saying that this is same for me and other person, and I evaluate myself for my competence, I can see that I am where I am standing. What is my level of competence? Then I have respect for myself also. And then in my mutual evaluation or evaluation of mutual competence, I see the respect with the other persons too, irrespective of these differences, what we discussed in the previous couple of slides. So after verifying the proposals of respect, I can see this respect is there. It is not something which is to be taken, rather to be something to be borrowed or to be sought from others. Rather, it is there. So I don't have to be dependent on getting this feeling from the other, and hence will not be under peer pressure to conform to the other. So this is something which we can discuss with the students very closely, opening up some of the examples in their own life, in the academic life or otherwise, personal life also. That when such peer pressure, say incidents which lead to peer pressure happens in the hostels or in the institutions, we can bring their attention to the natural acceptance, and so just to discuss with them that the feelings are there, like trust, respect, etc. They are there. We just need to recognize them and fulfill the feelings. We are not trying to get trust, seek trust or respect from the other. Rather, we see that the trust, which is trust on intention, it is there, and competence is rather respect is right evaluation of mutual competence. So when this is there, then I can be self-referential. I can be self-confident. And when I am self-referential, my conduct is gradually becoming definite. I don't have to be dependent on getting feeling, seeking feeling from the other, and hence I will not be under peer pressure to conform to the other. I don't want to be like the other person. The student may not be like the other person who is in the hostel. Suppose somebody is a hero in the hostel, and there may be a tendency for the other students to follow what the hero is doing. Somebody who is a leader, maybe in a class, or leader in the college, in the institution, the followers may tend to follow in every aspect. Followers in the sense that every aspect they may tend to follow, without seeing that this is whatever the other person is doing is based on his own competence, and my competence level is different, and what I require as physical facilities in terms of clothes, food, etc. Also language is not the same as the other person, and I know my requirement and I can procure whatever is required to me. I have this feeling of prosperity with me, and also in this feelings, I don't need to seek feelings from the other. Rather, I can recognize that the feelings are there, trust, respect, etc. are there. So I don't need to go by the peer pressure. So at this juncture, if we discuss this peer pressure again with the students, they also can see that peer pressure is out of question. All right. So we have almost come to the end of this session. So before we sum up, if there is any more exploration by any participant, we can take them. Okay, this session is coming to a close in the sense that this not the follow-up meeting, but the session on respect is coming to a close with this particular slide. When we try to get respect from the other, we have to conform to their way of looking things and doing things. This becomes a major source for peer pressure. And when we have the feeling of respect on the basis of understanding of human beings, we will have the feeling of respect for everyone, including myself. That is what we discussed just now. And therefore, I don't have to be dependent on getting feeling from the other, and hence will not be under peer pressure to conform to the other. So this is actually an outcome of this respect, as we can see from this from our own exploration. So what we say is respect is right evaluation in the self, if it is possible, only with a feeling of trust on intention. So that is a fundamental or the foundation feeling. So with the feeling of trust on intention, we can have this right evaluation of myself and right evaluation of mutual competence of the other. And I can also see that under evaluation, over evaluation, or otherwise evaluation is disrespect. Differentiation is also disrespect. Respect on the basis of self, the other is like me, and we are complementary to each other. So this is the complete content of respect. So these are a few things which we discussed in this session 7 of UHV content which is offered in the eSIP, or rather SIP, in all the institutions. So we just try to explore things in a bit more detail than what we used to cover in the students' workshop. We try to explore things on the basis of several examples, several self-explorations by the participants, and sometimes I also have given some examples to get more clarity in ourselves. We used to place this content with 1 hour 15 minutes in the students' workshop, and also in SIP we may take a similar time, maybe 1 hour 30 minutes, or sometimes a little bit more than that if the examples are more there. The purpose of placing these examples is to get clarity of the content. It is not that the examples are important, but the content is important. So we place these proposals with examples only to get clarity for the students. Right. So any exploration, any sharing from the participants is welcome. I can see a few more participants joined once the session progressed. Uma Maheshwara Singh ji is there. Surigan Bhaiya is there. Usha Didi is there. Naresh Kumar Bhaiya is there. Dr. Vaishali RG is there. Damodar Bhaiya is there. Many of them joined after, maybe during the session, I would say. If there is any exploration by any participant, you are welcome. Or else we go into the assignment part of this. We conclude this, and we will just move into the next session if time permits. Yeah, alongside this, yeah, we gave this home assignment in the students' workshop. Of course, we can also try to do this home assignment by ourselves along with the students. We can give this home assignment maybe in the follow-up meetings with the students also. If this is just done as part of a curriculum exercise, especially in this SIP program or otherwise, it is good to discuss the home assignment in detail with the students and just let them explore by themselves. You can see there are 3 questions given here. One is 9.1 is, do you have the same feeling of complementarity with a person from your region, sect speaking in your own language, and a person from another region, sect speaking a different language? We can observe in our case, in my case, in your case, what is happening. whether we have the same feeling for a person who belongs to my region, my place, and some other region. Whether a person who is belonging to my sect, my section, it can be my religion also, or some other section, some other group of people, and some other, say, my group and some other group, or some other sect. What is my feeling? Do I feel this feeling of complementarity with the other person or not? And now our country, as we discuss, we have plenty of languages. The states are also formed on the basis of languages. So when we discuss something with a person who belongs to another state or speaking another language, what is my feeling? Do I feel the same level of complementarity or different? Now we can see that this UHV content has united all of us together like a family. Irrespective of which language we speak, we communicate. We have a common language for sure, English, that is with which we communicate. But even otherwise, for communication, even language is not required, I say. But of course, in this online platform, we require this. But more important is what is communicated than the language. So now we explore ourselves that we, all of us, are similar. All these co-explorers are similar, irrespective of which region we belong to, which language we speak, what is our age, what is our, irrespective of our age or gender, irrespective of which section we belong to, we can see this. So we can also see if this is true with somebody who is not belonging to this UHV family. Yeah, this is also something which we can see ourselves, as well as we can discuss with the students whether they also feel the same thing, whether they also feel the same feeling of complementarity or something different. This is a good exercise which we can do. Yeah, this is another example which is being given. A person wearing a dhoti and a person wearing a suit. Who is being offered more respect? By a security person, to a person who is coming out of a car with a suit, or a person who is coming out of a bicycle with a dhoti? This is something which we used to ask in the workshop quite frequently. So we can observe, even after verifying the proposals, what is happening with me, whether we have the same feeling of respect for both these persons. A person speaking in English and a person speaking in local language. This also we can observe. And we can let the students also to observe these things. So it is also good that in between the technical subjects, if you can take out some time, like a break time, especially when the, say, sessions are of maybe like more than 1 hour duration, we can take out some leisure time, like say 5 to 10 minutes in between. We can speak about this kind of assignment to the students. Let them explore. So when we speak something different from what is being discussed in the session, they will suddenly say start attending. Rather, the awareness comes back if the awareness is not there. So when we discuss regarding such examples with say a person from wearing a dhoti, person wearing a suit, etc., they immediately start at, say, attending. It is not that they're not attending, but I say their attention span comes back. Okay, so that is question number 1. So do we have the same feeling of complementarity without any differences? That is what is being asked. Explore the reason. When you differentiate, do you feel comfortable within? You can write a few sentences in the UHV notebook. Then as the second question of the assignment, what is proposed is, observe yourself. Are you special, unique, different from others, or similar to others? Do you tend to compete or collaborate with your classmates? When you are So when are you more at ease? Describe your feelings in this regard. You can see that the students in a class may tend to compete, because nowadays there is this placement drive which is being conducted at the fourth year in a degree program, or third year in a diploma program, or otherwise. So at the final year of the program, there may be a placement drive. What is happening in the placement drive? Is it competition or collaboration? Is it competition or working for excellence? Do the students have a feeling that everyone is to get a job, or I have to get a job? So this we can explore in detail when we discuss about this competition and excellence in the future, in the next session. But since the question is asked here, whether the students feel like unique, special, different from each other, different from the other, are they collaborating with each other or are they not? Are they competing with each other or the other way? This we can just discuss with them with some examples. What is good? Is it competition or collaboration? What is giving you naturally acceptable feelings? When you compete with the other, and when you say win the competition, putting all the others behind, what is your feeling? Do you feel good? What is the feeling of the other? What do you think? Is it a feeling of opposition, or a feeling of jealousy, or a feeling of relationship in that case? So this we can just take them into this kind of an exploration and let them see these things through their natural acceptance. That is more important. And question number 9.3 is, what is naturally acceptable? Is it a feat to differentiate or to be complementary? Other students, including those from other states, other countries than your own. Faculty, staff, how a student sees other students, those who are from the same state and other states. The faculty members, are the students seeing the faculty members different from them? Other staff members of the college, how do they see them? It is also important how the faculty and students see the students. How the faculty and staff see the students, that's also important. You can suggest one way in which you can be complementary to the above. So these are the questions which we used to give to the end of this particular session on respect. Yeah, so I just explained this in detail just to have some exploration in myself as well as in you. If there is some exploration within you, if it is triggering some exploration within you, you can share it now. We have a few minutes for this session to conclude. Yeah.
So, yeah, can you just show the previous slide? There was one line which.
This one?
Yeah, and before that respect is yet therefore I don't have to be dependent on getting feelings from the others, like suppose, of course, our happiness doesn't depend upon getting feelings from the others, but if a person is always showing the what you call the feelings are not right from the other part, so of course we are not getting affected, but we have to, if you don't make them understand, no, they will be always behaving in that way. So is it do we need to make them understand? Is it correct?
That we can observe. Is it possible for us to make them understand? Or can we help them to understand? Which way we can proceed? If we try to make them understand, that is our expectation part. I expect them to get corrected. But then if my expectation is not met with, am I comfortable with that? If somebody is not listening, what can I do? If he or she is not listening, that may be because of my relationship with him is not good. So I can try to make that good, first of all, the relationship. For that, my feeling has to be naturally acceptable to me. So if the relationship is good, I can try again to help him to improve his competence. So anyway, I'm not dependent upon the other for my feeling. I am responsible for my feeling, and I depend upon myself for my feeling. It is there. I just need to recognize that. It is not that I'm trying to get it from somewhere, even from myself, I would say. It is there within me. I just need to recognize and fulfill it. But in the case of other, when I evaluate, when we have this right evaluation of mutual competence, I can see this difference in competence. And there is my role. There I try to work upon myself and try to work upon the other. But it is not to make him improve his competence, but rather helping to improve his competence. If you see in this way, then this may work out. Sometimes we may have to wait, as Amrish Bhaiya was telling, we may have to wait for some long time. The other may not be ready to listen to us, maybe in the beginning, but it may take some more time. Usha Didi has to say something, I suppose.
Yeah.
Namaste, Didi. Yeah.
Namaste. I think one that is I have some suggestion to Priya Didi also. I have because once the relationship is assured, then only we can help the other person to improve the competence of the other person. Until we will wait for improving the competence of the other person. Once the relationship is assured, then only we can help the other person. I think so.
Yeah, that is very true. Very true. Priya Didi?
Bhaiya, I am exploring many ways. Like let me see many things. I am from this proposals. I am working out. Many things is coming out also, but sometimes it gets like whether this is the correct way or the wrong way. I get sometimes confused. That's what I was asking.
Yeah. We are confused because our feelings are not naturally acceptable. I mean, this can be, it may not be like that, but can be.
Yeah. So, because when I can understand, but when I look into my feelings, I feel that I'm not comfortable. That can be. I used to feel.
Yeah.
Then I change my feeling. Then I understand what to do. That is very true what you told.
Yeah, I had to work upon myself in that case, first of all, before I try to work upon the other. Before I help the other, I had to work upon myself. I had to set my feelings right. If I have something, I can give. But if I don't have that, if my feelings are not naturally acceptable, if I am disturbed within, then my interaction outside also will be like that only. But if I am comfortable within, if I am in harmony within, then my interaction with the other will be based on that. And there is a high possibility of establishing this relationship, as Usha Didi was pointing out. And then we try again. Like the story of this king. He tried 7 times. Rather, when the king was defeated in a war, he saw that the spider is trying 7 times to knit the web. And inspired from that, he went on to continue his war, and finally he won. So this is an example in front of us as a story. Who is that? King Bruce, right? I forgot the name. King Bruce. Yeah. So likewise, we can try again without getting irritated, without having any kind of disturbance within, without any disharmony within. We can help the other to improve competence. Nice discussion, Didi. Very nice. If anybody else would like to share something, we can take it. It's almost already time. So here, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to add this here. The feelings, what we are getting that, whether how we are responding, response and reaction. These 2 things will be considered, no? Whether the feelings of others are not not good way, then how we have to be response instead of react. We have to be response rather react. Maybe that feeling will be answer to this question.
Yeah, that's true. So if we try to respond in any case, irrespective of whether the behavior from the other side is reaction,
Yeah,
then there is a possibility that the other also may fall in this relationship with us,
yeah,
and tend to change over to this response mode from reaction. That's a high possibility. Nice point.
yeah. So next, in the next slide, I have seen that question number 2 question which you have asked, that it is related to respect 9.2. This competence and collaborate. Can I relate to this respect, or it is a different from?
We can relate to respect in evaluation, right evaluation of mutual competence. So if we can see that this is a lack in competence, then this is my responsibility to improve my competence and help improving the competence of the other. That is a point which we just being we try to explore that point here. But anyway, this competence and collaboration, this is something to be discussed in detail, maybe in the next session.
Yeah. That I heard that in to be special or excellence. In that case, this question may be relevant.
Yeah. So we discuss this in detail in the other feelings part also.
Right.
Collaboration, excellence, and competence. But anyway, this is part of this competence part. Compete and competence are two different things.
Okay. I understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I think as it is time, yeah, Vasanthi Didi is typing. Understanding the intention of others is important rather than focusing on their expression. Yeah, very nice, Didi. Damodar Bhaiya, mic is there with you. You just need to unmute and speak. Yeah, please.
Sir, I have a question. I have a natural acceptance feeling, and for a one thing, one idea. Then my friend having less competence. Can you hear, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing. Yeah,
less competence. I need to tell this idea to him. He is not accepting. I compulsorily need it. Then what I will do? How much I can proceed to my idea to him?
If we can give a specific example, we can speak about that. Otherwise,
I have a specific example is there.
Okay, yeah.
My brother, you have some competence less.
Okay.
Then I understanding. He sometimes it is called some type of mad or like that. In that case, I need to realize my feeling and the actual things to him. He cannot accepting. I made dear friends, my dear family member. Very, I know it is my family member, my brother. I have knows. He was not accepting this ideas or my feeling. How long I will get angry or separate it is?
Are you trying to let him convince the thing, or are you trying to say your feelings right?
10 years, 10, 15 years I done it. Now also he has not taking this. What I will do?
You can see now, after being exposed to the proposals, what is your feeling when you discuss with your brother or your close relative?
I done also 10 to 15 years. I given some money, land, also etc. given, but not understanding what my feeling.
Is it the physical facility causing the trouble, or is it something else? Is it the feelings part?
Also, some physical ability. I given that. I given my something to him to understand me, but he was not cooperating with me.
Yeah, I think this is something which is to be discussed in detail. Maybe we can talk separately because as the time is already up.
Okay, sir. Now,
Anyway, this is something which we can see from the context of lack in competence. We can easily observe that the other person is not having this right understanding. There is lack in competence, and we have to work upon this. But when we work upon this, when we try to convince the other person that this is right, what I'm telling is right, what I am trying to tell you is the right feeling, then there is no possibility. Rather, there is less possibility that the other person is going to accept this.
yes, yes, that is happening now.
Yeah. So at this juncture, we can observe our feeling, what is happening with me. And if what is happening with me is irritation or kind of opposition, I can correct that first.
Now
And
it
then-
is no any irritation and angry, but
Okay,
one
nice.
separation is there for. So,
Yeah. Okay, Damodarji, we can discuss it in detail in person later.
sir. Okay,
Because time
okay.
is already up, we have to close the session. So
Thank
thank you
you,
so
sir.
much for the explorations. Very nice exploration with all the participants. And that actually made this a fruitful session. Thank you so much. We will meet in the next Wednesday session with a set of new proposals, new content. Thank you. Over to you, Bhaiya.
Thank you, Sunil Bhaiya, and thank you all the co-explorers.